yeah, I'm not so convinced. Yeah, for me it's too much. I'm not really convinced by these designs, and we are a bit away from what we imagine we would be.
So we're in a bit of a problem now, and I think what is happening is the clients are getting a little bit of cold feet.
How do you rebrand a company that's already making 8 figures? When the product is loved, the consumers are loyal, and the numbers are strong, why even touch it? And what happens when the growth plateaus? That's where we come in. We are SimplePlan Media. We help brands find clarity in chaos, combining strategic thinking, storytelling, and digital craftsmanship with branding, marketing, and development. Welcome to episode 5 of Building a Brand Season 2. In the last episode, we took Jurassic's visual identity and brought it to life through UI and UX, shaping layouts, defining interactions, and designing a homepage that carried the spirit of the brand. In this episode, we moved from ideas and interfaces into a working product, building components, refining flows, and bringing the experience to life in code. As the homepage UI was presented to the clients, the feedback was clear. It felt too designer forward, which raised the real challenge ahead. How do you pull back on the design without losing the identity you worked so hard to build?
So we designed 2 versions like we mentioned last time, and we showed it to the clients.
The first one was looking good at first glance because it feels a little more like now, so we are used to, I would say, but not a lot of personality.
I would say after seeing the second version with more aspect of the jungle, of the wild, I globally prefer the wild version maybe. Yeah.
I found the wild version having more personality.
I think we should go more on the direction of wild.
With the finalized home version, we now have a very clear direction of what we want the website to look like. So now the next step would be to go ahead and finalize the inner pages based upon the approved wireframes and the visual direction coming from the homepage. Because this is a D2C first website, so getting these pages right would be very important for us.
So let's look at the product page, because that is one of the most important page, and that is actually where the customers buy or decide not to buy from us.
So there is a lot of information for the products because this is a fruit and we have to tell everything about the fruit, the journey, the origin, the freshness. And so structuring that information in the right way would be crucial because it also needs to look very cohesive for the overall brand. So what we have done is we have created these different sections where the seasonality, the preparation, all of that comes into the right hand section of the page.
So one of the important thing that we had to keep in mind is that we also allow people to select these different variation which we baked into the product page itself to make the process seamless for the users. Since storytelling was also one of the most important thing that we wanted to cover, so on the product page, the first couple of sections are structured to optimize conversions, and the sections after that are made to bring people into our world.
Other than that, the storytelling is predominantly driven by pages like About Us.
We majorly focused on bringing the Jurassic fruit story to life.
So these are the sort of pages that make us stand out from the crowd. So it's very important to get these right because everyone is just focused on the product pages and the inner pages. They're just focused on selling. But yeah, like overall, I'm satisfied with how the product page is shaping up to be. And I think this could be like it could improve the conversion rate, which was a very important factor for us. So with the UI now logged in, we now move on to the technical aspect of things, which is the development.
With the product pages designed, the experience finally felt complete. From here, the work had to move off the canvas and into code. Now the team shifted focus from designing pages to building them.
We are doing this on a platform known as Shopify. Who are the sponsors of this video today? Not really. We are getting zero money paid from them. We are funding this out of our pockets.
Although we do have a lot of sponsors. True story.
Who are they? It can support a lot of products, and this brand has a lot of products. And we will be starting this process by just transferring all the data over to Shopify first. The most important reason for that was that the previous system that our customers had, it was very clunky, it was difficult to use. First, we'll be importing all the data from the previous platform onto Shopify. We'll set up a theme-based website to make sure that the data is consistent and it's accurate. The second step would be we build a custom theme and then integrate it to the existing Shopify store. So essentially we are using the power of Shopify and the backend and the systems and the logistics and the shipping and all these 10,000 different integrations that it provides, but we are not using any plug and play system.
We also need to keep the SEO side of things in mind, since Jurassic Fruits gets a lot of organic searches as well. So we need to plan site redirections, making sure the new URLs that we'll be creating when the website shifts to Shopify, those are all taken care of, and when the user clicks on the URLs, they don't end up on a 404 page.
Yeah, I would say this is the part where now our focus is not creativity, now it is accuracy.
When you're developing a custom design website, there are a lot of limitations that comes with default Shopify features. So we won't be able to use them. We will be custom coding them. So some of the things that I can think of is the cart functionality. It has a lot of information that we need to import. Shopify's default cart does not support that. So we'll have to custom code it. Then we are also adding a you may also buy feature on the card itself. So that is also custom coded. Features like these and the variant feature, all of these things would be custom coded by our team.
An alternative to this is also to integrate different apps, but since we couldn't find an app that was suitable for the sidecar functionality that we were building and envisioning, we decided to just build it from scratch. Additionally, the search feature has to be custom coded because we don't get a direct search like that with any other app in the market without customizing that app as well. And the variant feature that you see on the product page, that is something that we also have to customize from scratch without using an existing app.
And with all these things, we also need to balance out the interactions, animations, and the site load speed. So what we are planning to do is we'll first implement all the interaction animations on the website, and based on the load speed that we are able to achieve, we will either stick if it's less than 2 to 3 seconds, or we'll start stripping off some of the interactions in order to make sure the website is loading quickly, especially on low-end devices in which the performance lags a little bit.
Which brings us to thinking about mobile devices. How we are coding this website is we are using a mobile first approach when we are coding this website, because majority of the consumers will be using our website from their mobile devices. So that will be very crucial, and a lot of interactions will anyways be not valid for the mobile devices. Because people need to load the website fast and they need to place an order fast. Since this brand is also present in a lot of different countries, the language switcher and the currency switcher needs to work very seamlessly, because a lot of European countries are native to their own language. So the website needs to automatically change languages wherever the website is loaded from. So we are going ahead with Shopify Plus. There were a lot of reasons for us choosing Shopify Plus. The first most evident reason was that we had to make sure that the brand story along with e-commerce is very smooth on the website. That is where Shopify Plus comes handy, because we have the capacity to tell the full story along with a very robust e-commerce solution. The second aspect is global scale. Since this brand is selling in multiple different countries, we need to make sure that multiple currencies and languages along with payments can be processed on the same platform. The third crucial factor was speed. We had to make sure that the site loads perfectly at all times. It needs to work on very high-end devices as well as low-end devices. The fourth pointer was large product catalog. Since we have hundreds of SKUs and products, we needed a system that could handle that load. Shopify made search, filtering, and updates smooth. The fifth important factor was the creative freedom. Since we wanted a lot of customization on the website, Shopify Plus offers the most customization that can happen on a Shopify store. This is what gives us the flexibility to make sure that the custom UI that we have created is perfectly aligned on the Shopify platform. Future growth. Since Shopify is one of the best e-commerce platforms in the market, the enterprise plans ensures that we are always at the bleeding edge of the technology world. That will make sure that our store never gets outdated.
and this is a store that can be functional for the next 5 to 10 years. So the store in itself can evolve with the brand. When we talk about Jurassic specifically, they were already in the process of building a custom app to bridge their try-it-on backend with Shopify. Given the perishable nature of the products and the high volume of orders that they received, the stakes were incredibly high in this case. We had to ensure that the try-it-on inventory is always in sync with our website's inventory. And the last point was traffic retention. Since Jurassic is a brand that already gets a lot of organic traffic, our dev team had to work along with our marketing team to ensure that the site traffic and the SEO remains consistent so that there is no heavy drop in the amount of users that we were getting on a regular basis. This has resulted in a successful transition to a new and scalable platform without any disruption to the high volume operations at Jurassic.
Before a single line of code was written, the team mapped out the development cycle, defining priorities, setting milestones, and planning how the build would unfold. What followed was a grueling 8-week sprint. Long days, late nights. Designing turned into components, components turning into pages, and the pages slowly becoming a working product. But writing the code is only one part of the story. Developing a website is one challenge. Launching it successfully is another game entirely. Every link has to work. Every page has to load the way it should. The SEO can't break. The user journeys can't have drop-offs. And because Jurassic is an existing brand, the stakes are even higher. If this were a new brand, we could simply add the products, publish the site, and call it a day. But when thousands of users already know your website, every change carries risk. Traffic, rankings, customer journeys, everything has to transition seamlessly. So the team worked relentlessly to get every detail right, because when the switch finally flips, there's no room for mistakes. And that moment was coming. In the next episode, we take you to the launch and everything that unfolded when Jurassic's new website finally went live. If you are enjoying this journey, make sure to subscribe and follow along. This is SimplePlan Media, and you're watching Building a Brand Season 2.